The large metal doors slid open as High Counselor Tech hurried into the grand chamber. His 3 eyes blinked rapidly, showing his worry. 200 alien leaders from across the galaxy sat in rising circles around the central platform. The emergency meeting of the Galactic Council had begun. "We face a crisis," Tech said, his voice echoing through the chamber. "The Earth situation has grown beyond our control." Several council members shifted uncomfortably. Some younger members looked confused. "For those who do not know the history, I will explain," Tech continued. He touched a control panel, and a hologram of a blue-green planet appeared above the platform. 300 years ago, our scout ships found this world. Its people had only just reached their moon, but our scientists saw something that worried them. The hologram changed to show humans building cities, making machines, and fighting wars. These humans solved problems faster than any species we had seen before. They adapted quickly. They were curious and determined. Our scientists warned that if they joined the galaxy, they might soon match or even exceed our own power. An older council member stood up. "I remember the vote. We chose safety over risk." Tech nodded. "Yes. The council created the Sol containment protocol. We placed special devices around their solar system that hid it from normal space travel. Anyone passing near would see nothing special. Their signals would be blocked. And we told everyone that Earth was a death world full of violent, primitive monsters that would attack any visitors." The hologram showed the barrier technology being set up, creating a bubble around Earth's solar system. For 300 years, humans remained trapped in their solar system, unaware of the greater galaxy around them. Most of our people avoided that sector completely, believing our stories. Tech's voice grew more serious. But 50 days ago, something happened that we did not expect. The hologram changed to show a human space mission, a small ship exploring the outer edges of their solar system. Commander Jisoo Kim led an Earth mission that went further than any human had gone before. They found one of our sensor devices. Before we could stop them, they had touched it. Council members murmured with concern. "We captured Commander Kim. We studied her. We planned to return her with false memories. But somehow..." Tech paused, his voice shaking slightly. "Somehow she escaped 3 days ago. She took a ship, she took files. She is heading back to Earth with the truth." The council chamber erupted in angry shouts and fearful questions. "Silence," Tech yelled. When order returned, he spoke again. "That is not all. Our monitoring systems have detected unexpected energy readings from Earth. Their technology has advanced faster than we predicted." An aide rushed into the chamber and handed Tech a datapad. Tech read it, then looked up with all 3 eyes wide in shock. "This report confirms our worst fears. The humans have developed faster than light travel. They have built 5 ships capable of jumping between stars. According to our predictions, this should have taken them another 50 years. The chamber fell completely silent. "How?" asked a council member from the upper tier. "How could they advance so quickly?" Tech shook his head. "We believe they may have recovered a damaged scout ship that crashed on their moon 20 years ago. Our team tried to destroy all evidence, but perhaps they missed something." Another council member stood. "What about the human, this Commander Kim? Can we intercept her before she reaches Earth?" "We have 3 ships hunting her," Tech replied. "But she has already crossed into the Orion Arm. She knows routes we didn't think humans had discovered. I fear she may reach Earth before we can stop her." In the back of the chamber, a young data analyst whispered to her superior. The superior's color changed to pale green, a sign of extreme alarm among his species. "High Counselor," the superior called out. "We have just detected a human ship activating its faster-than-light drive. It has left their solar system. It appears to be heading toward the Centauri system." The chamber exploded into chaos. Council members shouted over each other. Some demanded immediate military action. Others called for negotiation. Tech raised all 4 of his arms for silence. "The containment has failed," he said when the noise died down. "For 300 years, we have told the galaxy lies about Earth. Now those lies are starting to crumble." He looked around at the panicked faces of the council. "And we are not prepared for what comes next." Far away, beyond the council's reach, Commander Jisoo Kim piloted her stolen ship toward home. The ship's computer translated the alien files she had taken. With each new revelation about the Council's deception, her determination grew stronger. Earth needs to know, she said to herself, looking at the star map showing the true galaxy, so much bigger and more complex than humans had ever imagined. Everything is about to change. Jisoo gripped the controls of the stolen alien ship tightly. Pain shot through her body. The Council scientists had studied her like an animal for weeks. They had taken samples, run tests, and tried to change her memories. But they had made a mistake. They had talked freely in front of her, thinking she could not understand their language. But Jisoo had always been good with languages, and she had listened and learned. She checked the ship's systems again. 2 Council ships were following her, but they were falling behind. The ship she had stolen was faster than she had expected. Maybe it was some kind of special messenger ship. Whatever it was helping her get home. Just a little longer, she whispered to herself. She looked at the small data device she had stolen. It contained thousands of files about Earth, the Council's lies, and their plans. Her people needed this information. Back on Earth, Dr. Han stood in a large underground lab, watching his team work. Around him, strange pieces of alien technology sat on tables and hung from testing rigs. The government had brought him here 5 years ago after a secret mission to the moon. They had found a crashed alien ship and brought back everything they could carry. "How is the engine test coming?" Han asked one of his assistants. "The power output is stable," the young scientist replied. "We've solved the cooling problem. I think we're ready for the next step." Han nodded and walked to a large window overlooking a massive chamber. Inside was Earth's first faster-than-light engine. His team had built it by studying the alien technology. Most scientists said it would take decades to understand, but Han's team had done it in years. "The president is coming tomorrow," Han said. "He wants to see the test launch." Just then, his phone rang. He answered it and listened, his face growing more serious with each second. "I understand. We'll be ready," he said finally, then hung up. He turned to his team. "Change of plans. We need all 5 prototype ships ready to fly in 72 hours. "That's impossible," one team member said. "It's necessary," Han replied. "We've detected alien ships entering our solar system." Across the world in a private airfield, a sleek craft landed. It looked like an advanced Earth plane, but inside it was filled with alien technology. The door opened and Ambassador Morrow stepped out. He looked almost human, except his skin had a slight blue tint and his eyes were larger. Special makeup and contact lenses helped him blend in. Morrow smiled at the group of government officials waiting for him. They thought he was from a small European country, coming for secret trade talks. None of them knew he was a council agent, sent to find out how humans had advanced so quickly. "Thank you for the welcome," Morrow said, shaking hands. His real mission was to find and destroy any alien technology humans had found, and to assess if Earth needed to be dealt with more directly. Out in the Pacific Ocean, a U.S. Navy ship picked up a strange reading on radar. Something was entering the atmosphere at high speed, but it wasn't following normal patterns. The captain ordered his ship to investigate. What they found shocked everyone on board. A craft unlike any they had seen before had crashed into the ocean. As they approached, they saw someone floating in the water near the sinking ship. They quickly launched a rescue boat. When they pulled the person from the water, they were surprised to see it was a woman in what looked like a spacesuit. She was injured, but conscious. "I'm Commander Jisoo Kim," she said weakly. "United Nations Space Command. I need to speak to the president immediately." The captain stared in shock. Commander Kim had been reported lost in space 3 months ago during a mission to the outer solar system. Everyone thought she was dead. "Get me a secure line to headquarters now," the captain ordered. 12 hours later, Jisoo sat in a secure room deep under the Pentagon. Around her sat the leaders of major world powers, all called to this emergency meeting. She had just finished showing them the files she had stolen. "So these aliens, this Galactic Council, they've been keeping us trapped here, lying about us to the rest of the galaxy?" asked the U.S. president. "Yes," Jisoo replied. They've been doing it for 300 years. They put up a barrier around our solar system that hides us from passing ships and blocks our signals from reaching other worlds. Why would they do this? Asked another leader. They're afraid of us, Jisoo said. She touched a control and a hologram appeared showing test results. These are from tests they ran on me. Humans can adapt to different environments better than almost any species they know. We learn faster. We solve problems in ways they don't expect. They think if we join the wider galaxy, we'll eventually take over. The room was silent as everyone processed this information. There's more, Jisoo continued. They know about Dr. Han's work. They've detected our faster-than-light tests. They're sending ships here now. Some to watch us, but I fear others will come to stop us. And this man, she showed them a picture of Ambassador Morrow, is not human. He's a council agent sent to sabotage our progress. The leaders looked at each other, realizing the danger they faced. What do we do now? Someone finally asked. We prepare, Jisoo said firmly, because the council is coming and they don't want to welcome us to the galaxy. They want to make sure we never leave our planet again. Director Park stood at the head of the table in the secret underground command center. Around him sat military leaders, intelligence officers, and key scientists. A large screen on the wall showed a smiling Ambassador Morrow shaking hands with the U.S. President at a public event. Operation Trojan Horse is now active, Park announced. On the surface, we welcome this so-called ambassador with open arms. We act like we know nothing about the council or their lies. Meanwhile, we prepare for what's coming. He tapped a button and the screen changed to show 5 sleek spacecraft in a hidden hangar. Dr. Han's team has completed all 5 FTL ships ahead of schedule. They're armed with weapons based on the technology from the crashed scout ship. Training for the crews will finish in 3 days. One of the generals spoke up. What about this council agent, this Morrow? Won't he notice what we're doing? We're feeding him carefully selected information, Park replied. He thinks he's fooling us, but we're the ones doing the fooling. Right now he believes our FTL technology is still in early testing and that we only have one working prototype. Park changed the screen again, showing a man with a serious face. This is Sung Ho, our best intelligence officer. He and his team left Earth last night in our most advanced ship. Their mission is to infiltrate the Council's information hub. Is that even possible? Someone asked. Won't they be detected? Commander Kim provided detailed information about Council security systems, and the ship they're using has been modified to appear as a Council courier vessel. It's risky, but it's our best chance to learn more about what we're facing. Across the solar system, Sung Ho and his team of 4 sat in their ship as it accelerated toward the edge of the solar system. They all wore tight expressions as the ship approached the point where they would activate the FTL drive for the first time. Everyone ready? Sung Ho asked. The team nodded. Activating FTL in 3, 2, 1. The stars blurred and a strange sensation passed through their bodies as the ship jumped to faster-than-light speed. When they emerged, they were in a different star system, far from Earth. It worked, whispered one team member, looking at the alien sun through the view screen. Step 1 complete, Sung Ho said. Now for the hard part. Back on Earth, Ambassador Morrow sat in his private quarters, sending a secure message to the Council. Humans have made more progress than we thought, he reported. They have working FTL technology, though it appears to be in early stages. I've identified their main research facility and am working on accessing it. More concerning is their military readiness. They seem to be preparing for something, though they shouldn't know about us yet. He paused, considering his next words carefully. I recommend accelerating our timetable. The containment has clearly failed, and Earth represents a greater threat than anticipated. Their adaptability exceeds even our worst projections. After sending his message, Morrow prepared for a dinner with government officials. He didn't know that everything in his quarters was being monitored. Every message read, every movement tracked. In Dr. Han's laboratory, Jisoo watched as technicians prepared the last FTL ship. Will they be enough? She asked Han. Against their entire fleet? No, Han admitted, but they don't need to be. We just need time for Sung Ho's mission to succeed. Jisoo nodded. I still don't understand how they didn't detect your work here. All these years? Han smiled slightly. The crashed ship we found had damaged shielding technology. We reversed engineered it and built a larger version around this entire facility. It blocks their sensors just like their barrier blocked ours from the galaxy. At the Council Information Hub, a massive space station orbiting a distant star, Sung Ho's ship docked without incident. Their forged credentials passed inspection, and they were allowed entry as a routine courier delivery. Remember, act like you belong, Sung Ho told his team through their hidden earpieces. We have 4 hours before the real courier is expected to check in. They split up, each heading to different sections of the station. Sung Ho made his way to the central data core, a massive room filled with alien computer systems. Using the access codes Jisoo had stolen, he connected a small device to one of the terminals. "I'm in," he whispered into his communicator. Beginning download. As data flowed into their storage device, Sung Ho browsed through files, looking for anything that might help Earth. What he found made his blood run cold. Earth isn't the only world they've contained, he reported to his team. There are 7 others, species that evolved too quickly or showed too much potential. They've been doing this for thousands of years. He downloaded everything he could find about these other contained worlds. As he worked, an alert appeared on the screen. Someone had noticed the unusual data access. "We've been detected," he told his team. "Get back to the ship. We have what we need." As alarms began to sound throughout the station, Sung Ho grabbed the storage device and ran. His team fought their way back to their ship, barely escaping as Council security forces closed in. Once safely away in FTL travel, Sung Ho examined what they had stolen. It was even worse than he had feared. The Council had plans ready to completely destroy Earth if containment failed entirely. "We need to get this back to Earth now," he told his team. "The Council isn't just trying to keep us isolated anymore. They're getting ready to eliminate us completely." High Counselor Tech watched as the vote numbers appeared on the large screen in the Council chamber. The decision was clear. Out of 200 members, only 12 had voted against taking direct action against Earth. "It is decided," Tech announced. "The Earth problem must be eliminated before it spreads. The eradication fleet will launch immediately." As Council members filed out of the chamber, Tech approached Admiral Dorr, the military leader who would command the fleet. "How long until you can reach the Earth system?" Tech asked. "My ships can be ready in 2 days," Admiral Dorr replied. "We will take 25 battleships. The humans have no way to stop such force." "Do not underestimate them," Tech warned. "They have advanced faster than any species we have contained before." "They are still primitives compared to us," Dorr said, confidently. "This will be a simple operation." Back on Earth in the underground command center, Director Park received an urgent message. Sung Ho's ship had returned with critical information. Minutes later, Park and the other leaders watched in shock as Sung Ho played the Council's recording. "As you can see," Sung Ho explained, "they voted to send an eradication fleet to Earth, 25 battleships. They plan to destroy all major cities from orbit, then land troops to eliminate any remaining resistance." "When will they arrive?" asked the president. "Based on the information we gathered, they'll reach the edge of our solar system in about 5 days," Sung Ho replied. Dr. Han looked grim. "Our 5 ships can't stop 25 of their battleships." Jisoo stepped forward. "No, but we don't need to stop all of them. We just need to create enough confusion for the second part of the plan to work." All eyes turned to her. "Sung Ho didn't just bring back information about the attack," Jisoo continued. "He brought proof of everything the Council has done, not just to us but to 7 other species they've contained. If we can broadcast this to the entire galaxy, it will create chaos within the Council." Director Park nodded slowly. "A 2-part strategy, then. Our ships meet their fleet to slow them down while Sung Ho's team broadcasts the evidence to all Council worlds. For the next 4 days, Earth prepared. The 5 FTL ships, now named Defender, Guardian, Protector, Sentinel, and Warden, were made ready for battle. Each carried the best weapons Earth could create based on alien technology. Their crews trained day and night. Ambassador Morrow noticed the increased activity but couldn't determine what was happening. His messages to the Council went unanswered, which worried him. On the 5th day, Earth's long-range sensors detected the Council fleet emerging from FTL travel at the edge of the solar system. But they found something unexpected waiting for them. All 5 human ships in formation. Admiral Dorr stared at his screen in surprise. They knew we were coming. How is that possible? His second-in-command looked equally confused. And those ships? They have FTL capability. Our intelligence said they only had one working prototype. Doctor quickly recovered from his surprise. It doesn't matter. 5 ships cannot stand against our fleet. Open a channel to them. On the bridge of the Defender, Captain Yoon received the incoming communication. She nodded to her communications officer to put it on screen. This is Admiral Dorr of the Galactic Council, the alien commander announced. Your planet has violated containment protocols. Surrender now, or be destroyed. Yoon stood tall as she replied, This is Captain Yoon of the Earth Defense Force. We know why you're here and what you've done. Turn back now or face the consequences, Admiral Dorr laughed. You have 5 ships. We have 25 battleships with technology centuries beyond yours. What consequences could we possibly face? You're about to find out, Yoon replied calmly, then cut the communication. She turned to her crew. Battle positions, execute Plan Alpha. The 5 Earthships suddenly split apart, each moving in a different direction at high speed. The Council fleet began to pursue, but the Earthships were faster and more maneuverable than expected. As the battle began in the solar system, Sung-ho's ship emerged from FTL near the main communication hub of the Council. They had one chance to broadcast the truth to the entire galaxy. Activating the signal now, one of Sung-ho's team members said. Across thousands of worlds, regular broadcasts were suddenly interrupted. Beings of all species watched in shock as evidence of the Council's centuries of lies appeared on their screens. The systematic suppression of threat species, the corruption at the Council's core, and the planned attack on Earth, all of it was exposed. Back in the solar system, the battle had begun. The Council ships fired their weapons, but the Earth ships dodged with unexpected skill. Then the Earth ships fired back, targeting specific weak points in the Council ships' shields, weaknesses that no contained species should have known about. How do they know where to hit us? Admiral Dorr demanded as one of his ships reported critical damage. At that moment, 3 Council battleships suddenly broke formation. Their commanders had received the broadcast and refused to participate in what they now recognized as an unjust eradication. Sir, the Cathul, Vren, and Zol ships are withdrawing, reported Dorr's second-in-command. They what? Order them to return immediately, Dorr shouted. They've cut communications, sir. Dorr's fury grew as more ships began to hesitate. The neat formation of his fleet was breaking apart as confusion spread. The remaining Council ships pressed their attack, firing radiation weapons that should have disabled the human vessels. But to their shock, the Earth ships continued fighting, despite radiation levels that would cripple most species. How are they still operational? Dorr asked in disbelief. As the battle continued, more Council ships received the broadcast. The carefully constructed lies of centuries were crumbling, and with them, the Council's authority to destroy Earth. 6 months after the Battle of Earth, things had changed across the galaxy. The once mighty Galactic Council now controlled only a fraction of its former territory. More than half of the member species had left, refusing to follow an organization built on centuries of lies. Dr. Han looked out of the window of the space station orbiting Earth. Ships from different worlds moved back and forth, bringing visitors and traders to Earth for the first time in human history. It's still hard to believe, Han said to Jisoo, who stood beside him. 6 months ago, most of the galaxy didn't even know we existed. Now we have ships coming from 20 different star systems. Jisoo nodded. And that's only the beginning. The 7 other contained species have all reached out to us. They want to form an alliance. On the other side of the room, Sung-ho was speaking with a tall, plant-like being from one of those formerly contained worlds. The Nidori were contained because they developed photosynthetic computing, Sung-ho explained to the Earth representatives nearby. The council feared their technology would make standard computer systems obsolete. The plant being moved its leaf-like arms in a gesture of agreement. For 3,000 years we thought we were alone in the galaxy. The council told everyone our world was toxic to other life forms. Similar stories came from all 7 of the formerly contained species. The Baron had developed ways to control gravity. The Lumi could communicate through light patterns. Each had skills or abilities that the council had feared might disrupt their control of the galaxy. Together, these 8 species had formed the core of what they now called the Free Worlds Alliance. In what remained of the Galactic Council, High Counselor Tech struggled to maintain order. Many worlds were demanding investigations into council actions. Others wanted immediate reforms. Some called for Tech's removal. "We must take decisive action," Tech told his reduced council. "The Free Worlds Alliance grows stronger each day. If we don't stop them now, they will eventually challenge our authority." Directly, one council member spoke up. "What do you suggest? Our attack on Earth failed. Our lies have been exposed. We have lost the trust of many worlds." "Then we must use what power we still have," Tech replied. "I propose we block all trade routes to Alliance worlds, cut them off economically, threaten to destroy any ship that trades with them. We still control the main transit points between spiral arms. Without access to these, the Alliance will collapse." The remaining council members voted to approve Tech's plan. Within days, council ships began stopping and turning back any vessels, heading toward Earth or other Alliance worlds. When news of this blockade reached Earth, Captain Yoon was called to an emergency meeting. "We can't let them cut us off from the rest of the galaxy just as we're finally making connections," Jisoo argued. "I agree," said Dr. Han. "But a direct military confrontation isn't the answer either. We need to show the galaxy that there's a better way to govern than through fear and lies." After much discussion, a plan was formed. Captain Yoon would lead a fleet to the council homeworld, not to attack, but to force negotiations for a new system of governance. 30 ships from all 8 Alliance species gathered near Earth. It was the largest fleet the Alliance had assembled. Each ship carried not only weapons but also evidence of council corruption and proposals for a new form of galactic governance. As the Alliance fleet appeared near the council homeworld, panic spread through the council chamber. "They've come to destroy us," one member cried. But instead of attacking, the fleet took up positions around the planet and sent a single message: "We come to talk, not to fight. The old ways must end." Under the protection of Alliance ships, representatives from all species, Council worlds, Alliance worlds, and neutral systems, gathered in the Great Hall where the Council had ruled for millennia. Tech was brought before this gathering to explain the Council's actions. "Why did you contain these worlds?" asked a representative from a neutral system. "Why hide them from the rest of us?" For a moment, Tech was silent. Then, surprising everyone, he spoke with unexpected honesty. "We feared them because we had grown stagnant," he admitted. "Our species have changed little in thousands of years. We built comfortable lives and stopped pushing forward. Then we found Earth and these other worlds, species still growing, still adapting, still hungry to learn more." He looked at the human representatives. Earth was not a death world. It was an evolutionary crucible that created something we couldn't control. We were afraid of being left behind, of becoming obsolete. 1 year later, the First Galactic Congress convened with representatives from all species. The old council system was gone. In its place was a new structure where all worlds had a voice, regardless of their technology level or age of their civilization. Earth ships traveled freely across the stars, learning from older species while sharing human perspectives and ideas. The other formerly contained species did the same, each bringing unique strengths to galactic society. During the opening ceremony of the Congress, Dr. Han addressed the gathered representatives from hundreds of worlds. "The greatest strength isn't technological power or biological advantages," he said. "It's the willingness to question authority and challenge lies, even those that have stood for centuries. Together, we can build something better than isolation and fear. We can build understanding." Across the galaxy, beings of all kinds looked to the stars with new eyes. knowing that the old lies had crumbled and a more honest future had begun.